Hi, I'm Scott Fitzgerald with Birmingham's Morning News on News Radio 105.5 WERC. Thanks for coming to the website. I know you're interested to find out what you're going to learn here today, and it's important stuff. Justin, you've been a financial advisor for over a decade, 13 years now. What has led you to the infinite banking concept?
Great. We began to look for ideas and techniques that would help our clients reduce their risks. Over the last decade, there's been a lot of volatility in the market, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of risk, and we looked for ways to build peace of mind for our clients. One of the things we kept coming back to, Scott, was the banking model and how banks make money.
They make money?
They make a little money
Okay.
every now and again. Any town that you go in, the nicest buildings downtown are always the banks, whether it's small or a large community. And so they understand how money works. And we began to study that business model so that we could understand how banks make money and maybe find some techniques that we could apply to our clients and their business.
So in a sense, what we're trying to do is replicate the model of the bank. So help me out here. I know they make money. How do they do it?
Sure. Well, we know that banks make money by making loans. And people have to put money into the bank in order for the bank to make loans. So they make deposits into the bank. And if you can see in our example here, we put money into a bank, they're going to pay us 4%. Now, we know that's a little aggressive in today's market because it'd be hard to find a bank paying more than 2%. But we're trying to be conservative to show a point here. So we make a deposit in the bank, they're going to pay us 4% for the use of our money. And how they make money is they take those dollars and they make loans. The first example you'll see is they make a home loan. And as they make that loan, obviously there are payments that come back into the bank. So what do they do with that money? They certainly don't sit there and let that money stay stagnant. They begin to use that money again in the form of another loan. So as you see, they make another loan for a car or an automobile. And as those dollars come back in, there's a spread that's made on that money from what they're paying us in the 4% example to what they're charging. For the car loan, it's 8%. For the home loan, it's 7%. So there's a spread on each loan that they make that's for the benefit of the bank and the shareholders of the bank. And as that dollar comes back in, that same dollar gets loaned back out, maybe in the form of a home improvement loan or an office improvement loan. Those dollars come back in, you see the pattern here, and maybe that same dollar gets loaned back out in the form of a credit card. We're using 12% on our example, but really we know that that's probably closer to 20 in today's market. So there's a spread that's made on that. And if you're looking here, that's 4 turns of a deposit in 1 year. A bank typically tries to turn a deposit 5 to 6 times in a year. So again, we wanted to be conservative. And if you see in our example, the bank has made a spread of almost 20%.
Off of each piece. Total, add them together.
Add them together, exactly. Yet they paid us 4%. And I always ask people, what's the difference? And typically I hear 16%, which is exactly right, and that would be a good return for anybody. But isn't it really 5 times what they paid us? 20% is 5 times 4, right? So they actually made a 500% higher return than we made. And how much money did they put up? Zero.
It's all our money.
It's all our money.
Okay.
So we begin to look at that model and say, you know what? Being the guy on the left making 4% is okay, but what if we could be the entity on the right, put together a system or a process where we could recapture all the dollars the bank is making and put that in our pocket? And that's what the infinite banking concept is.
I love the concept that somebody else isn't making money off of me, that I get to make money off of me, whether it's me personally, my family, or a small business. So my question is, how do I implement this? Well, how do I get started on this infinite process?
Well, it is a process. And the first step is it's an education. We want to make sure that our clients are educated on what's happening with their money. I think that's so important that they understand it. So we have a textbook, just like when we went to school and learned a new subject, we had a textbook. We've got an 80-page book that we like for all our clients to read that really spells out the basics of infinite banking. From there, we're going to get together with them. We're going to walk through the book, answer their questions, talk about some key examples, how it applies to them and their family and in their business, and then we can decide together if it makes sense to implement a process where they can start recapturing interest that was going to the bank. So the first step is order the book.
So you have to help me out here. I'm going to try to get this right. So it sounds like infinite banking is not a product, but it's really a structure and a process. Is that right?
It really is a process, Scott. If you look at the financial world, typically we look for products, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, CDs, maybe annuities, and we try to find the best products that are out there for our clients. Infinite banking is really a process where you're taking on the banking function. Not only do you become the depositor in the bank, you also become the banker, serve the banking function, as well as you become the borrower. And what do you do by implementing this process? All the interest and profit that the bank was making, you get to put that in your pocket. You're creating wealth for yourself by taking that interest, putting it in your pocket, the profit that the bank was making, being able to put that in your pocket, and without changing your cash flow whatsoever, you're creating a whole new revenue stream for your family or for your business.
The picture's starting to come a bit into focus for me here, but again, Justin, I'm glad that you're here because you're learning just like I am about this. What are the advantages then to setting up this infinite banking process?
I think the advantages really come to light very quickly. The first is liquidity, meaning, that's a technical term, that means you've got access to your money when you need it. Use, you've got the use of your money when you need it, which is very important, as well as you've got control of those dollars in every step of the process, meaning that you don't have to qualify for a loan. If we've built up capital for you in your own system that you control, that's liquid, that you have the use of, then you're in control. You don't have to qualify. Today, I've heard that from a lot of clients. Hey, I've paid a lot of money on my home, and I went to get a home equity line, and they wouldn't give me the money. But that's my money that I've paid on it. They said I didn't qualify. In this system, you have total control over that, and that's a big positive, and I think that's a big advantage. And by implementing it properly, structuring a system the right way, you're creating capital and a whole new revenue stream, a whole new pot of money that you didn't have before on the same dollars you were already spending. Simply put, it's a simple process. You're paying yourself interest for the use of your own money as opposed to paying the bank interest for the use of their money.
So to get started, well, you've already started because you're here and you're watching this little video here on the website. The next step, there's a place on the website where you can click and you can order this book, Becoming Your Own Banker. This is the book, 80 pages or so, with a lot of information that I'm going to guess will then raise a lot of questions in your mind as well as give you a lot of information. So then the step after that, set up an appointment with Nowlin & Associates and you can figure out whether or not this infinite banking process is right for you.